Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NHL DFS slate for Thursday, January 19th. And we got ourselves a massive 13-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays. And then we'll wrap up today's video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals, where you can see 5 of these games are coming in with an implied total of 6.5 goals, 6 games coming in at 6 goals even, and then 2 games here between the Bruins and Rangers and Wild at Hurricanes coming in at 5.5 goals. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see each team who's favored to win tonight. And then here's a quick little schedule update to close out the week. Again, an NHL video here today, but nothing for tomorrow, being that it is just a 2-game slate. I will, however, be back on Saturday breaking down that NHL main slate. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that first line for the Columbus Blue Jackets. We got Roslovic centering Gaudreau and Laine. Now, it's not often I highlight the Columbus Blue Jackets, let alone a Columbus Blue Jackets stack, but considering the matchup they have at home here tonight, that is really hard to ignore. Playing the Anaheim Ducks, again, a team we've been targeting all year long. They've allowed a league-high 4.18 goals per game this season, with the third worst penalty kill that's hit at just a 72.1% rate, and that's a team that's taken the second most minor penalties in the league this year as well. We're going to see Gaudreau and Laine play up on the number 1 power play. Roslovic plays down on the second, but these guys will log big minutes together 5-on-5, and considering Roslovic's price there at $4,000, it's easy to justify him with these two talented wingers. And then an even cheaper line stack that I like here tonight with some nice upside is that second line for the Los Angeles Kings. We got Danault centering Iafallo and Arvidsson. Not only are these 3 very affordable to play, but it's a very strongly correlated line stack as well, being that all 3 of these guys play on the Kings' number 2 power play. And I like the matchup at home here tonight against the Dallas Stars, who are playing on back-to-back nights and will likely start their backup goaltender tonight in Scott Wedgwood, who has been very mediocre not only this year, but really throughout his NHL career. He's 6-6-3 on the season, with a goals allowed average of 3.19 and a save percentage of .905. Those aren't necessarily great numbers by any means, and these 3 are very capable of putting up some decent numbers themselves, very capable of getting on the score sheet. In their last 10 games, these 3 have combined for 11 goals, 17 assists, 28 points, averaging just under 3 points per game. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And don't forget, I am running a Discord channel too. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. We got a great group of people in there talking hockey, talking some other sports as well, and talking some prize picks too. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. The first guy I got there is Alexander Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals. Now, there are a lot of top-tier forwards to choose from on this slate, obviously with 13 games, 26 different teams to choose from, but one guy I would be willing to pay up for is Ovi. Great matchup here tonight against the Arizona Coyotes, a team that's allowed 3.61 goals per game this year, the 7th most in the NHL, and they have the 6th worst penalty kill in the NHL as well, one that's hit at just a 73.2% rate, and this is a team that's taken the 3rd most minor penalties, so we should see the Capitals on the power play a handful of times here tonight. We know Ovechkin thrives there. We know he has no problem scoring goals, especially in a matchup like this. You can see in his last 10 games, he's racked up 8 goals, 3 assists, 11 points, with 2 of those goals coming on the power play, while averaging around 4.5 shots on net per game. Someone who's very capable of getting you that 3-point DraftKings bonus by having 5 shots on net in a game. I then got Braden Point there of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I've highlighted Point quite a bit here over the past couple of weeks, considering how good he's been playing as of late, and I'm willing to go back to him here again tonight in this matchup against the Edmonton Oilers, a game that I definitely think has some high scoring potential. The Oilers, we all know that they can bury goals, but they're by no means a defensive juggernaut, and their goaltending is very shaky from time to time. That's a team that's allowed 3.26 goals per game this season, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 74% rate. And I don't necessarily love that the Lightning are playing on back-to-back nights on the road, but like I said, points numbers as of late slate have been phenomenal. 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points over his past 10, while averaging around 3 shots on net per game. Next is Sasha Barkov there of the Florida Panthers, who has had a bit of an up and down year so far, but he has started to find his game here as of late. He's racked up 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points in his past 8 games, while racking up points in 7 of those 8 games. Now he still plays on the first line, he plays on the number 1 power play, logs around 21 minutes per night, and I do like the matchup for him here tonight to continue this little hot streak he's been on as of late against the Montreal Canadiens, a team that's allowed 3.62 goals per game this year, the 6th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 75% rate. Barkov was awesome. He had his best game of the season against Montreal just back in December, scored a hat trick, had 2 assists, 5 points with 5 shots on net. You can see that here at the top. And this is a team that he's played well against over the course of his career. You can see that stat here right now. 22 goals, 14 assists, 36 points, and 28 games against the Canadiens. Now I'm going to highlight the next 2 guys together, and Kevin Hayes and Scott Laughton of the Philadelphia Flyers. Both these guys currently playing on the third line. Laughton's playing up on the number 1 power play right now, whereas Hayes is playing down on the second, but I do like the price tags for both of these guys. A cheap little mini stack, if you will, and a great matchup at home here tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks, another team that struggled defensively all year long, allowing 3.69 goals per game. That's the 5th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 74% rate. And Hayes and Laughton have been solid here as of late. Hayes is coming fresh off of a hat trick, and I think people will chase that a little bit, but I don't know if a lot of people are going to stack him up with Laughton, so I like the mini stack there. Hayes has 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points in his past 10 games. Laughton has 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in his past 10, and has been playing much better than his price tag there at $4,500. And then I got Riley Smith there of the Vegas Golden Knights, and I kind of like the Vegas matchup in general here tonight at home against the Detroit Red Wings, a team that has really slipped up defensively over the past month. In just their past 5 games, they've allowed 3.80 goals per game, with the penalty kill that's hit at just a 77% rate. Smith is currently playing on that second line with his usual line mates in William Karlsson and Jonathan Marchessault, and he's currently up on the number 1 power play right now, being that Mark Stone is on the IR. Smith hasn't put up great numbers here as of late, but he has been solid this year. He's racked up 18 goals, 11 assists, 29 points in 45 games, and definitely someone who's capable of hitting 20-25 plus DraftKings points or 4-5x value at this current price. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, the first guy I got there is Alex Pietrangelo, sticking with the Vegas theme here for another minute, because again, I do like the matchup at home for them against the Detroit Red Wings. Petro's been very solid this year. He's racked up 28 points in 36 games. He's very capable of getting on the score sheet. In his past 10, he's just got 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, but what I'm more so impressed by is how he's racking up DraftKings points in a number of different ways. He's averaging around 3.5 shots on net per game, and close to 4 block shots per game as well. Very capable of getting you that 3-point DraftKings bonus by blocking 3 shots in a game. All of those numbers here over his past 10 have translated to 15 DraftKings points per game. So he is expensive here at $7,500, but again, he's shown that he can get it done in a number of different ways. Playing around 27 minutes per night, plays on that number 1 power play, and plays on the penalty kill too. Now, I quite like the 3 to 5K range for defensemen tonight. 2 guys that stick out to me in that range are Erik Gustafsson of the Washington Capitals and Sean Durzi of the Los Angeles Kings, and I'm just stacking them up with forwards on the same power play. You could do a little mini stack with Ovi and Gustafsson if you wanted to in a great matchup against the Arizona Coyotes, whose penalty kill is not very good, and they are not afraid to take penalties. And then Sean Durzi, he's very easy to stack up with that second line that I highlighted earlier for the Kings, and it's very affordable to do that as well. You could do a 4-man stack with those guys, or even do a little 3-man stack as well. Pick 2 of those forwards and stack them up with Durzi. And then if you're looking to save some money tonight at the defenseman position, one guy who stuck out to me was Ben Sherratt of the Detroit Red Wings. He's not someone who's going going to get on the score sheet every night, just 13 points in 43 games this year, but he is someone who can rack up DraftKings points in a number of different ways himself. He averages around 2 shots on net per game, but close to 2.5 block shots per game. Over his past 10 here, he's averaging around 11 DraftKings points per game. Not bad at all for a guy priced at $3,600. I do, however, think there's some nice value, like I said, in the 3 to 5K range in general. Put a handful of honorable mentions here. 2 other guys in the 3K range that I almost highlighted were Graves of the New Jersey Devils and Boqvist of the Columbus Blue Jackets. You could stack them up with Laine and Gaudreau if you wanted to, being that those 3 play on the #1 power play. Now, when it comes to the goaltenders here tonight, there were a handful that stuck out to me. Obviously, being that there are 26 to choose from, there better be a few that stick out. One was Frederik Andersen of the Carolina Hurricanes. He just returned from injury 2 games ago, but he's looked really solid in his first 2 games back, having allowed just 3 goals on 58 shots on net. And the Carolina Hurricanes are one of the best defensive teams in the NHL, especially when they play at home. And then these 4 goaltenders here, and Connor Hellebuyck, Jussi Saros, Igor Shesterkin, and Ilya Sorokin, I believe those 4 guys are too cheap on this slate here tonight. Tough matchups, yes, understandably. There's actually some really tough matchups across the board here today. You can see I put that in the notes when it comes to the forwards, but these are 4 goaltenders who have tremendous upside, some of the 4 best goaltenders in the NHL, and again, I just think they're a bit too cheap here tonight. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got there is Anton Lundell of the Florida Panthers. He plays up on the first line right now, plays on the #2 power play, and in 5 games since he's been promoted to that first line, he's had 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, with 19 shots on net. I really like the way he's shooting the puck, and he's scored 14.5, 15, and 18.3 DraftKings points, and 3 of those 5 games. That's pretty damn good considering his price. Next is Cody Glass of the Nashville Predators, was recently promoted to that first line in #1 power play, in his last 2 games that is, which led to him scoring a goal and playing a season high in minutes in both of those games. And then Eeli Tolvanen there of the Seattle Kraken, currently playing on the 3rd line but up on the #1 power play. He scored 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points in 10 games since joining the Seattle Kraken, averaging 10.2 DraftKings points per game. Again, not bad at all considering his price. And then to wrap up this video here, let's talk a little prize picks. A little surprised here though as I do record. They only have a handful of shot props out and goal props. That is the only thing available though this morning. So you guys know my plan of attack here. I'll go through all of these picks once they come out, do my research, and then let you know my final picks in a comment below on this video, and I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. Don't forget though, I am posting those in my Discord channel too, and if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. And for those of you who have not signed up for Prize Picks yet but want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of. When you're signing up, use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Now again, you do not have to put $100 in. If you want to put in 50, they'll match 50. You want to put in 20, they'll match that $20. Hell, you got $5 laying around, you want to put that in your Prize Picks account, they will match that. And again, we'll match anything up to $100 as long as you're using my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 13-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.